Welcome to There's Nothing to Eat, the show where leftovers rule the day, where we turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Goodbye waste, hello taste. In this week's episode, we visit the home of Rosie and Gontran, who live in a renovated fire station in the city of Ottawa, the capital of Canada. Today's a special day, their 20th anniversary, and to help them celebrate, Chef Daniela takes over their kitchen to prepare a celebratory meal. The challenge? Daniela has no idea what she will make and must improvise using only leftovers from Rosie and Gontran's fridge and pantry. While Daniela works her magic in the kitchen, Rosie and Gontran go out for an afternoon on the town. Rosie's going to the pool, but Gontran has plans of his own. Both will return in 99 minutes to what they hope will be a delicious 3-course anniversary meal made entirely of leftovers.
I'm Daniela Croco, and I'm a trained chef, but I'm also a trained nutritionist. I come from an Italian background and grew up in a family with lots of Italian food and a chef as a dad. From the first minute I walked into this place, it is so eccentric and amazing, and my eyes just gravitate to a million different spots. Rosie and Gontran really reflect themselves not only in their living space, but also in their kitchen.
The apron is on and the countdown begins. Daniela has only 99 minutes to prepare a 3-course meal from whatever she can find in Rosie and Gontran's kitchen. Step 1. Find out where everything is. No shortage of leftovers here. The average family of 4 throws out 250 pounds of food every year.
Today I really gravitated towards this beautiful sausage that they had in the fridge. Earlier I took out the pressure cooker, and so when I opened the cabinet and I saw these dried cannellini beans, I automatically thought of an awesome recipe that my Nonna would make different versions of growing up. So I'm gonna use these dried cannellini beans with this sausage and all these fresh herbs, along with these olives here. I'm gonna chop them up and add them in. Some people might wanna add a pasta or a grain to this dish, but I'm gonna make a deliciously decadent dessert from some of the ingredients I saw behind me in the fridge, so I'm going to plan the main course to be a little bit lighter. When building a meal, it's really important to think about all the different aspects, how you're gonna feel after you eat it, and also how you're gonna feel while you're enjoying it.
While Daniela makes the 3-course anniversary meal with nothing but leftovers, Gontran looks for the perfect anniversary gift for Rosie. In Ottawa's Byward Market, home to a plethora of pastry shops, restaurants, one-of-a-kind boutiques, souvenir shops, and art galleries, both big and small. To find Rosie's gift, Gontran visits Alpha Gallery, situated in a heritage building on Sussex Drive, just down the street from Canada's National Gallery. Here, co-owner and artist Dominic Sokolowski is waiting to help. While Gontran searches for Rosie's present, Daniela gets started on the main course.
Something I'm going to do with the beans is make sure that I rinse them really well. And another trick that I have is adding a little bit of baking soda to the water. And I'm going to soak them for a little bit. This will allow them to break down a little bit and be easier to digest when we do eat them, so you don't get those toots that you might be used to after eating lots of beans. And then I rinse them really, really well. I added equal parts water, and I've put them into my pressure cooker so that they can get cooked really quickly in about 20 minutes. While my beans are cooking in the pressure cooker, I'm gonna get everything else I need together for this recipe. I've already got the sausage that I've taken out of the fridge. I'm just gonna get myself a cutting board. I saw some onions and shallots underneath the stove earlier, so I'm gonna grab those. It was just an empty bag of onions, so we've got our shallots, so that's what we're gonna use today. I'm gonna slice up these shallots. Now this is a recipe that I've done many different versions before. If you don't have shallots, you can use onions. If you don't have either, you can just use garlic. Or if you don't have fresh garlic, you can even use garlic powder. I did find some in the spice drawer, but when I found the fresh garlic, I definitely decided that that's what I wanted to use. Now that my onions and shallots are ready to go in the pan, I'm gonna take the olive oil that I found and I'm gonna give it a nice turn. This is a big bottle of olive oil. And just a nice turn of the pan. Still waiting for that to get hot. So while that gets a little bit hotter, I'm gonna open up this bag of sausages that I found in the back of the fridge. I'm gonna slice down the side. It looks like this is seasoned with a little bit of paprika and some chili possibly, and salt and pepper. Now I've removed all of the casings from the sausage. I'm gonna add this beautiful sausage and crumble it with my fingers into the pan. Now I'm gonna let this get brown and I'm gonna find a wooden spoon.
While Daniela prepares Rosie and Gontran's 20th anniversary meal, gallery owner Dominic and Gontran continue to look for the perfect piece of art for Rosie. With so many amazing works to choose from, the choice is not easy.
Non? Ok. On a d'autres tableaux.
Daniela is creating a 3-course anniversary meal for Rosie and Gontran from leftovers found in their kitchen. With less than 59 minutes until Rosie and Gontran return, Daniela still has to finish the main course and decide on an appetizer and dessert.
I found some leftover peas and some leftover mushrooms that seem to be a little bit moist, but I'll chop them up and we'll turn them into something delicious. If you sear them at a really, really high temperature, you can save them. I'm gonna add these sliced mushrooms to my pot. Now I'm going to get those lovely herbs that we found. They may not look so lovely, but the flavor will be lovely. Rosemary, the sage, and the chives. Oh wow, that aroma is just so overwhelming. I just get such a waft of delicious herbs. I've taken these tomatoes. They look like they're a little bit sad. I'm gonna chop these into little pieces. Chunky and very rustic. Got some lovely olives here that I found in the fridge. Some are pitted and some are not. The ones that still have a pit inside, what I like to do is crush them with my knife. And that makes it easier for the pit to come right out. Oh, look at that. This olive has an almond inside. I'm just gonna chop that right up in there. I'm sure it'll add delicious flavor. Now that we've got the sausage nice and cooked and the mushrooms seem to be very crispy and the bottom of the pan is dry, that's when I'm gonna go in and add my wet tomatoes. You can hear that sizzling now that there's moisture added to the pan. Now that this is here, I'm gonna set this aside and put the lid on, and I'm gonna turn it on to low.
While the main course simmers, back at the gallery, a decision's been made.
Non, ça c'est bon. Ouais, je crois que ça va aller, ça. Excellent.
After much deliberation and with the help of Dominic, Gontran has found a work of art that he hopes Rosie will fall in love with. But will she? A little part of Gontran is still uncertain.
During the course of this whole time, actually, I have changed my mind on what I'm gonna make for the appetizer 4 times. Oh, look at these beautiful little mini cucumbers. Let's use those. I'm just gonna clean a few of them, cut the ends off of them, so that I can get them ready for what I'm gonna do for the appetizer. I'm gonna marinate them in this balsamic vinegar. It's gonna give them a nice tart and sweet flavor. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt to this because it's gonna help absorb the balsamic and it's also going to soften the cucumbers just a little bit. All right, I've got this beautiful creamy camembert and it is gooey and ooey. Look at that. I'm going to put 3 little pieces, kind of artsy, kind of off to the side. Earlier, I prepared apricots for the dessert. Now that I see this creamy, delicious cheese, I think those grilled apricots would go really, really well with this. Look how soft these are. Can you see how ooey and gooey these apricots have become from putting them on the grill? Now I'm going to sprinkle these tart, crunchy cucumbers. You would think cucumber and apricot, that doesn't go together. But you know what? It does. The green and the orange and the white against this blue plate is such a lovely sight to my eyes. This appetizer is deliciously served at room temperature, so I'm actually just gonna set it to the side until the rest of the meal is ready.
With the anniversary gift wrapped and ready to go, Gontran is off to pick up Rosie at the pool. Then it's back to Daniela to see if she's managed to turn leftovers into an anniversary meal. Daniela has less than 19 minutes to create a dessert and to plate the main course. But even though Rosie and Gontran's kitchen is full of leftovers, Daniela is having difficulty finding ingredients for a dessert.
Now that we've got our appetizer done, I'm gonna do a few little things to finish up the main course, and then I'm gonna focus on dessert. Now my sausage is nice and cooked, and you can see that the tomato is dry and there's no more liquid in the bottom of my pan. It is time for me to add my cooked cannellini beans. The way that you can tell if they're cooked is if they mush right in your fingers. Now's the perfect time to add that end of the bottle wine. All right, I added about a half a cup of wine. Add those peas. I've got this sad lemon, but that's okay. The zest is still delicious. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zest this lemon. The trick with zesting citrus is to be moving and turning it all the time. That little bit of lemon is just gonna add that zing, that brightness to round all the flavors together. Now that's ready to plate.
There's only 9 minutes left and Daniela still has to make dessert.
Now we're on to dessert. Blueberries and strawberries, figs and gooseberries. Sometimes you can buy something and before the package completely goes bad, a few items go bad. But if you open it up in time and you save those ones that still look lovely, you don't waste all of that money that you spent on the beautiful berries. I'm just gonna take these and put them into a lovely pot on the stove and get them cooking down to create a lovely berry sauce that I'm gonna put on top of something special. I added a little bit of lemon because I noticed that some of the berries were overripe and a little bit mushy, so I thought that the lemon would give it a nice cut from the sweetness. I've got this lovely stale cake, just right to soak up all that delicious berry sauce. I'm just plating it to be different. I'm going to squeeze the rest of my lemon on. I want that sour tartness to get into the sponginess of the cake before I add my berry sauce. Now, because this cake is a little bit stale and there wasn't very much lemon juice, I want to make sure I get this sauce on all of those white pieces of cake. And as you notice, I'm doing this before I serve the appetizer and the main course. And why is that? That's because I want this to have enough time to soak in all that deliciousness so the cake pieces are fully saturated by the time we're ready for dessert. I found some gooseberries and some figs, and just by adding a few little sprinkles to the plate turns the dish into something completely different.
Daniela has created an anniversary meal she hopes Rosie and Gontran will love. And Gontran has found a work of art for Rosie. But will she like it?
Oh, and I don't usually get the seat with the arms. Rosie and Gontran, thank you so much for letting me cook in your home. I found so many awesome ingredients in your kitchen and pantry that I couldn't decide what to make. For the appetizer, I went a little crazy. I grilled some beautiful apricots on your grill. I added some camembert cheese. I pickled some of those little cucumbers that I found in the fridge. There's shallots. And then to add a little bit of crunch, I found a little bowl of pistachios that you had in the kitchen.
Ooh, this looks lovely.
Get a little bit of the sauce there.
Yeah. Oh, yay. I'm so happy. There you go. Happy anniversary. Never in my wildest dreams would I ever put
that
any
together.
of these things together.
Daniela waits anxiously for the verdict.
It's excellent.
It is. It's very good.
Daniela's anniversary meal is off to a great start.
And your main course.
Whoa.
I used up so many odds and ends in the back of your fridge. We've got those 2 sausages that you had that I sauteed with some shallots and garlic. I found your sage, rosemary, and chives that were all crispy and on their way out, so I used them. You had a small container of peas that I added in there as well. Mushrooms, the sad soft tomatoes from your countertop, and the cannellini beans that I noticed that were in the bottom of your cabinet, which I guess had probably been in there for quite some time. And I also zested your very sad lemon in the bottom of your fridge. I like to call them sad beans because they go from sad to being glad.
Absolutely.
Can a meal made of so many sad ingredients still taste good?
It's very nice. But this is delicious.
Excellent. And here we have dessert. I found some beautiful berries in your fridge. The blueberries were a little bit rotten, so I picked through them. I gave them a beautiful wash, mixed them with some strawberries, a little bit of sugar, lemon juice, and lemon zest, and I cooked that down on the stove. And then I was looking for something to soak that all up. And I saw you had a stale white cake, exactly what I was looking for. I decided to slice it into thinner slices. I soaked the cake pieces with the grilled lemon, and then I topped it with the beautiful berry sauce.
This is good. This is really good. This is great, great, great.
Daniela's meal is a great success. She's turned the ordinary into the extraordinary, proving that when there's nothing to eat, leftovers rule the day. If leftovers inspire you, send us a 30-second video of how you use them, and if selected, we'll include it in our broadcast. Thanks for watching.